Welcome back to Radar Towed Transmissions. Today we are discussing the Sixfold Path, freedom that can survive the world. There is a question beneath every spiritual tradition. How do human beings become free without destroying themselves, each other, or the world they live in? Freedom without structure collapses into chaos. Structure without mercy hardens into oppression. Wisdom without responsibility floats away. Action without truth becomes dangerous. The great teachers did not contradict one another. They complete one another. Together, Moses, Jesus, Buddha, Confucius, Krishna, and Muhammad form a single, durable path, one that relates the human spirit and keeps it grounded in life. Moses talked about freedom must have a container. The story begins with Moses. Moses teaches something foundational and often misunderstood. Freedom comes before law. But freedom cannot survive without structure. The Israelites are freed before they receive the law. They are not liberated because they obey. They are given the law because they are already free. This matters. Torah is not a ladder to God. It is a gradual for a liberated people. Moses teaches covenant, responsibility without bondage, law as protection, justice that remembers mercy, repair through return, not punishment. Moses answers the first question. How does freedom avoid turning back into slavery? Jesus teaches that release the weight of the past. Jesus teaches us to release the weight of the past. Jesus steps into that covenant and get down. Jesus releases the weight of the past. Jesus steps into that covenant and radicalizes it. He sees where people are still bound, not by chains, but by guilt, shame, and accusations. Jesus' move is immediate. You are forgiven, he says. Not later, not after payment, not after proving worth. Forgiveness for Jesus is not emotional leniency. It's just release. It is real release. But Jesus never lets forgiveness dissolve responsibility. He always adds, go and sin no more. Forgiveness clears the ground. It does not erase direction. It makes transformation possible without crushing the soul. Buddha teaches us, do not rebind yourself, yet even after forgiveness, people often remain trapped. They cling to identity. They replay the story. They turn wounds into selfhood. Buddha names the mechanism clearly: suffering. It continues because of clinging, not divine punishment, not cosmic doubt. The mind grasps at what is impertinent and calls it me. Buddha doesn't argue about forgiveness. He explains why people don't experience it. Forgiveness opens the door. Awareness keeps it open. Confucius teaches that freedom must be humane. Inner freedom raises a social question. How does an awakened person live among others without tearing the human fabric? Confucius answers this directly. He teaches Ren, humaneness, empathy, benevolence, and Li, appropriate conduct, respect, relocational care. Confucius insists wisdom must show up as kindness. Enlightenment must be livable. Freedom that neglects others is not wisdom. Awakening that dissolves responsibility is incomplete. Confucius ensures that inner transformation strengthens families, communities, and trust. Krishna teaches us to act without attachment. Then comes the moment many avoid action. Fear of consequences, fear of failure, fear of doing harm. Krishna refuses paralysis. He says, stand up and act. But he removes the final chain. You are entitled to action, but not the fruits of action. This is Dharma without ego. Act fully, act rightly, act without being owned by reward or fear. Responsibility without bondage, engagement without possession. Muhammad teaches to submit all of this to truth. Finally, Muhammad anchors the entire path. He enters where spirituality often drifts. When freedom becomes self-defined, when wisdom inflates ego, when compassion forgets justice. Muhammad teaches submission to truth, Islam. Not submission to a tyrant, submission to reality itself, to what is just, honest, and accountable. He insists justice is worship. Humility is strength. Truth applies even when unseen. Freedom must answer to reality. This prevents the path from collapsing into spiritual narcissism. The integrated path. Together, the path unfolds clearly. Moses gives freedom a structure that can survive historically. Jesus releases the past through forgiveness. Buddha dissolves clinging that rebinds the mind. Confucius harmonizes freedom in relationship. Krishna directs right action without attachment. Muhammad anchors all of it in truth and justice. Or simply, freedom with structure, mercy without denial, awareness without ego, compassion with responsibility, action without attachment, with truth at the center. Closing truth, this is not a ladder out of the world. It is a way to live fully human without fear. No eternal doubt, no structural escape, no moral chaos. No ego crowned as enlightenment. Just this: you are free, therefore be responsible. You are forgiven, therefore walk wisely. Stay aware, be humane, act rightly, submit to truth. This is a freedom that can survive history. Thank you for joining me, and hope to return next time. Take care. Love you.